An easy way to do it is you fed your filament through. Under the extrude button there's a millimeter at and the feed rate. So we'll just change that to 1 at the moment. So 1 millimeter. Originally I used to have it flush. But what I decided to do, it's easier, extrude 1 millimeter. Before you do that you've got to make sure you've sent your M302. It'll say sending. I restarted the front of face so I have to resend it. Send it to 1 millimeter. We do extrude and 1 little millimeters popped up. We'll do another one. 2, 3, 4. Now we just get our ruler and we measure it. So we check. You say, okay, that's 4. If you set it, say, to 100, we do one more extrude, that's 5. We change it to 50 millimeter and we hit extrude for that. We've taken all the backlash and whatever problems there may have been with the reel and the filament and all that, and biting in, gripping and not gripping. So that was the steps 4 up to the 5 mil. So then we said, right, we do extrusion for 50. So this should read 55, which it does. I'll be honest with you, it has read 56 at one stage, or then it's gone 50. So it has varied. So it's now 55. We'll do another 50. So that should be 100. And 105. Now that's reading 105 and a half. 1, 1, 1, 1, 5, good. 50, good. Another 50 has gone from extruding to 50 to extruding 50 and a half, 51. So we'll do one more extrusion at 50. There we go. And that's 156, so that's extruded 50. So we'll extrude another 50. Make sure you have the ruler on at the same position all the time, of course. That's 2565. So extruded 50, extruded 51, extruded 50, extruded 50.5. If you think you're going to be chasing microns in the extrusion distance, that you'll measure it and it'll always extrude 50 millimeter. If you find it to be 100.987652323, whatever, how many digits you want to put in, that's false. Won't happen. Another good test is, okay, we've extruded 50, 50, 50, 50, and 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 to make up 5. So if we now extrude back that distance, say in reverse, that tip should be flush. So we do 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, whether it's sent out longer lengths than what we're supposed to, it doesn't matter. It thinks it's sent out this much, so we've asked it to come back the same amount. We've asked it to be 200, but if it's sent out to 102, it should return to 102. So that measurement there should be 5 millimeter, because remember we said 1, 1, 1, 1. It's 3. So there's a difference of 2 millimeters. We sent out 205, we asked to come back 200, and it's come back to 102. Remember, there was also error 1 and 1. You can be a dog chasing its tail, trying to get closer and closer and closer until your head disappears up your own butt. Or you can see how you go in the real world when there's extruding, and seeing if you're getting problems with too much material being extruded for speed and all that, or not enough. So we'll do a 1, yep, 5. So now, how long's the ruler? We'll do a 290 extrusion, because there may be variations in trying to start, try to stop. So each time, let's say, for example, it might try to start and lose, say, 3 steps, for example. So if you start, you may have loss of those steps. But if you do one same length instead of 3 times, but 3 times the length, at one start you may only lose 3. So this is where all different variables come in that aren't consistent to a mathematical formula. It's, if you've done this once and then you've done it 3 times, well, you get that error. So we'll see what it is. 297. So it's 2 mil too long. You can spend all day going backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. I will perhaps get me 1 metre ruler out and see how that goes and fine tune it. As we saw, between 10 steps seem to be around about the 5mm mark, so you'll be 1 step below, 1 step more. So if you want to get it spot on, try it, that's fine. Then when you're happy, continue. If you are printing and 3 weeks later you think, oh, I'll change those step amounts, you know exactly where to find it because it's up the top of your config file and you know what you set it to and you can say what it was. So that's how you set your extruder to extrude the right amount, the right direction, without bending, buckling, getting dusty and hopefully clogging heads. That's this stage finished and we're almost up to the stage where we'll be melting a bit of plastic.